So did Leos get on with Leo?
Takes some adjustments.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been together for 17 years. It's
Have you?
yeah,
That's wonderful.
in gay years, it's like I
That's
don't know,
really
over
good.
100
Where did you meet?
in a club in Vauxhall.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Not the Foxhall Tavern.
No, no.
I used to go there. I used to come from Pimlico,
Okay.
so I used to go to Foxhall a lot.
Uh,
So no, that's really good. I was just going to look at. I'll have to look it up later because I just wanted to see what your compatible signs were. Oh, Leo. Yeah, another Leo is compatible with you.
Comparable?
Yeah,
Okay.
Leo.
Good to know.
Both bright and their emotional needs will be similar. The main issue is possibly a duel of egos and frequent arguments. Oh,
Because when we started going out, I did itching. You know what it
mm,
is? So I did an itching, and they said like disaster.
did they?
Yeah, you'll
It,
clash all the time. It's like
yeah.
no harmony.
Well, it does.
Which was the case actually. But then after a few years, we kind of
It says
somehow
it,
got adjusted to each other.
yeah. It says here, but it says that possible duel of egos and frequent arguments. It says, but with disputes are not spiteful and be easily fixed.
Mm.
So maybe you're not so spiteful.
It can be a bit spiteful sometimes. I think I'm not.
That's a good thing, isn't it? It's really good. So tell us. I know you started up. Now you started up the Panda Kung Fu Mama. What was your first steps into business?
This business or business in general.
Business in general. How did you start?
So back in Israel, me and a friend, we we started the first gay dating line on telephone. It was before the internet.
Right.
So we came up with this idea. We started this telephone-based service. It was really good for a while. Then the internet came and kind of squashed it, and we kind of. I mean, I didn't want to. I mean, it was like a kind of an entertaining foray, but I didn't want to kind of continue with that.
So you didn't decide to take it on
To kind of to move it into the internet, yeah.
but you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So that was your first step.
But we knew it's gonna kill it, but it's fine.
That was your first steps into running your own business.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
So what did that lead on to?
And then while we were running, while we had it, I moved with my then boyfriend, Ottolenghi, to Amsterdam, and then we kind of chilled out in Amsterdam for a couple of years.
What was it like in Israel? There's no thing being gay in Israel. Was it just?
It's when we left, I mean, it changed. I think we left 95, and between 95 and like 2005, it changed dramatically.
Okay.
So
In a positive way or
in a
negative
positive way, yeah. So it was very closeted, and then within a few years, it became completely well accepted, and like before all the kind of wars and stuff,
Yeah.
gay pride in Tel Aviv was like heaving, like
Yeah.
people from all over the world came.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. And it was sponsored by the municipality, and so yeah, I mean, now it's good. Like one of my best friends, I mean, talking like 15 years ago, there was this kind of reality show of couples competing.
Okay.
And him and his boyfriend were on the reality show.
Would that have been a first?
It was a first, yeah. It was kind of everyone was really entertained about it.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't just win because they were gay. I mean, they were
The best couple on.
they were charming.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were good, like, really good.
So that's good. So you decided to move away from Israel.
Yeah, just because it's kind of it's a pressure cooker. So he said, "Oh, let's go to London." I said, "Oh, I don't like London. I was in London for one day. I had like negative impression." I said, "Oh, I love Paris. Let's go to Paris." I said, "Oh, I don't like the French." So then we ended up in Amsterdam. So we went there, and then it got really boring. I mean, Amsterdam is nice, but it's very, very boring.
What was you doing there?
Clubbing.
Working? No.
I was kind of running this online business from
Oh, you
not online,
still
the telephone.
you're still doing it
I
at the
was still
point.
there, yeah, and
Okay.
it was kind of died off when I was there. And then after 2 years, we got too bored. We said, okay, let's go to London. Um, and I came. I did an MBA here, and he started his kind of culinary career.
Oh, okay.
And then we broke up, and then I left London, and after a while I came back, and he said, oh, why don't we help me start a business.
Okay.
So that was Ottolenghi. That's 2002.
And
um
what was that doing?
it's like so it was like it still is. The shop is still there, the first shop. It's a tiny little shop, 850 square foot, including a kitchen, in the side street in Notting Hill,
Okay.
selling fresh salads, fresh food to take away, and pastries, and everything amazing quality, like really amazing quality. And it was it was like a new gospel basically, because uh, the food was really amazing, really fresh, kind of happy food.
Okay.
And Notting Hill at that time was kind of going.
It suited the area at the time. It was changing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was really changing.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was kind of like really rough, and then it was bohemian, and then all the bankers started moving in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so there was lots of money, and this food really kind of
Particularly being with
suited their lifestyle and preferences. It's kind of,
yeah.
it's a great food to have after you yoga or Pilates.
Yeah, no, it's very
Yeah,
healthy eating,
exactly.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it was
So
an amazing,
it took off,
it was an
basically.
amazing success from the word go.
Yeah.
Um, and then, ups and downs. Then we opened the restaurant. Our second site was in Islington, and it was a disaster for a year, really. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it was so difficult.
What was the problems there? Why did you
People just didn't get us, and we didn't have the concept kind of completely baked, because we had a deli in Notting
Yeah.
Hill. It wasn't a restaurant. And then we tried to do a restaurant, but it wasn't really baked.
So you basically based it on what you were doing in Notting Hill,
Exactly, but then
but it
you
didn't
need to
take.
do dinner, but with the dinner was not based on anything. It was,
Yeah.
um, and then we kind of the swing was when we moved from serving like 3-course meal to serving tapas style
Okay.
food, and then people
At
really.
what stage in business did you suddenly think we got to change here? It's not working.
Oh, it was a disaster from the first day.
So from quick, you thought we need to change the menu or we need to change
Well,
the
we kind of
concept.
we we tried different things. So, first it was like kind of quite. So, everything was dark in the evening, and we had this big candlesticks, and was a bit like church-like, and have
Okay.
quite heavy food.
Yeah.
And then slowly we kind of, we made it lighter, so more in line. Basically, it was like 180 degrees, because the daytime is kind of bright
Yeah. Yeah.
and happy and kind of very informal, and then we did it too formal in the evening. So we needed to find a kind of.
How do you go about that? How do you sort of think to yourself? Was it just you and your partner thinking, like, this is what we got to do? Or did you
Yeah,
take advice from someone,
no,
maybe a designer or something?
I mean, one of the partners is who's a good friend, Alex Meidlis. He's an architect and a designer, and he was always heavily involved. Um, Yutam was always involved. I think I have a gift for filling places.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Um, so I kind of
You can see
I can
roughly what.
I can
Yeah.
feel the ambience, and
Mm,
I can imagine how most people would react to it.
yeah. What sort of clients were you looking at the time? What did you see
It
appealing?
had it had to be the locals. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Islington. I mean, no one is going to kind of. I mean, not many people would travel from, I don't know, into Islington. I mean, some in the beginning we had to capture the locals that we had to capture. There's the Almeida Theatre just opposite us,
Yeah.
so we had
Okay.
to capture that crowd as well.
And what made you go to Islington? Did you think it was going to be similar to Notting Hill?
Don't know actually. I mean,
Why didn't you
the,
open a
my
restaurant in Notting Hill?
no, it wouldn't make sense in Nottingham, because then you cannibalize.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I mean, it was a mistake, to be honest. I mean, we should have. We didn't. I mean, we were new to the
Yeah.
game, so
Yeah.
just something came up. We thought, oh, okay, it's fine.
How did you finance it originally?
So originally it was friends and family, and then because the shop in Notting Hill was doing so well, we financed it organically all the time. So
Yeah.
basically, we never took any investors in, apart from the first round,
Okay, that's good
which is amazing.
because it gives you control and you can do what you
Yeah,
want to
it's
do.
very rare. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then so what happened then? So you changed the concept
So we
then?
changed then after a year, and then the assistant manager was stealing money, and it's like
Oh,
it
yeah.
was crazy,
Again.
crazy, crazy. But then yeah, we got it working, and it became very, very successful. And then
That's good because you've taken it. It wasn't going so well. You haven't given up. You've changed the
you
concept and got
can't,
it successful.
you put so much money into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's no choice.
There's nothing. You can't walk away, can
No,
you?
you can't.
Well, well, if you don't change the concept, you might be forced to walk away.
Yeah.
That's the difference. But you've changed you've
Uh,
realised,
uh,
and that's really important to realise that it's not working. I need to change things.
yeah, of course. Yeah. I
So
mean,
you've done really well then.
the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, yeah, you've done really well. So now it's successful. Well,
Yeah. So fast forward, um, I guess to 2001, 2002. Sorry, 21, 22. 21 by 21, 22, we have like company employing, I don't know, 450 people,
because
6 locations,
okay, you now
6 or
got
7 locations.
okay.
Um, and then we made a mistake. We decided to bring an external CEO because we thought, okay, we need someone like
Yeah,
better than us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I stepped back, and then a little later, the other founding partner, Cornelia, who's kind of the more the operational partner, stepped back. Uh, um, and then we realized it was a mistake, and we had to sack him.
Okay.
Uh, and basically, Cornelia stepped back as the CEO. But by that time, I was already out of the business. So,
What was you doing then when you stepped
um,
away?
I was taking my time because it was when this whole kind of transition process was quite stressful,
Yeah.
and both my parents passed away more or less the
Okay.
same time,
Yeah.
and it was like they passed away in Israel, and very painfully,
Yeah.
very, very painfully.
Okay.
So I just
You
took
needed
my
some
time.
time out
Yeah,
to
it was really good
just to
to chill. And then I thought, okay, what am I doing? I A natural direction would be to look for consultancy jobs and non-executive directorships, maybe maybe CEO of another company. And then I thought, yeah, actually, I didn't quite enjoy the last years anyway, because it was
Are you single
board
at this
meetings.
point as well?
No,
Are you still with a partner?
yeah, no, yeah, that was. We're 2021 now, so
Mm.
we have kids already.
Oh, of course. Yeah, 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 yeah. Very
The
good.
kids are born 2017.
All right.
So
So you got
yeah,
that.
so I didn't want to. I hate sitting in meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate
That
it.
weren't the next stage for you.
So I'm kind of a person on my level. That's what I should have done.
Yeah,
Go and
yeah.
sit in
With your
meetings and
experience,
stuff.
yeah.
But I just couldn't. I couldn't stand it. So I thought, okay, let me start a new business.
Okay. But by then, but this business obviously got you financially secure.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
by now you're financially secure.
yeah.
So that element of the business has been successful and it's made you reasonably
Yeah, I
successful.
mean, it's been amazing. I mean, to kind of.
Because sometimes people need to know that it's been worth it for you as well.
Oh no, there's no doubt it was. I
Yeah.
mean,
And you
both on all levels. I mean, professionally, personally. I mean, it's an amazing achievement. I mean, it's one of the
it's amazing.
leading food brands in the world. So
Yeah.
it's an amazing.
It is.
It's an amazing
It is an
achievement.
amazing to do that,
Yeah,
and that's what people need to know that they can do that. They can take things from a small beginning and grow it,
yeah,
but it's hard,
it's very hard.
isn't it? What was the overall length of take from when you started to being
I mean, look,
successful?
I think what like I said, the Notting Hill shop was a success. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we were breaking even. Like on the second month, we were already
Okay.
breaking even
Yeah.
operationally. Uh, but like I said, it was. I mean, we were super lucky,
Mm.
super, super, super lucky. But but we also, I mean, we also had the right um resource. So your Tom is very good in food and is a very good communicator and very good kind of ambassador
Yeah.
and very thorough and methodical and kind of detail orientated. And we had another amazing chef, Sami. So Yotam, by that point, he was still a pastry chef,
Okay.
not a kind of chef de cuisine. Um, but we had Sami as one of the founders, and he was an incredible savory chef. And we had another amazing pastry chef, Jim. And I was kind of doing the kind of more concept stuff and project management stuff, which I'm very good at. And then within, I don't know, 9 months or a year, we had Cornelia, who's like an amazing operations manager. So we had, and Alex, the architect that I mentioned,
Mm.
is a kind of is very clever commercially. Is doing, it's not just architecture, it's also how it works into the commercial aspects of the
Yeah.
business. So it was an amazing team. And when people ask me about, oh, how you succeed, I'm like, you have to have a team because
Yeah.
no one is good in one thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you have to cover all bases.
So you put your success down to having a good team around you.
Yeah, I think and we are overlapped,
Yeah.
and your time and I had a lot of arguments because we're kind of yin and yang. I mean, I'm the
Yeah.
yang, he's the yin. I'm kind of pushing, he's pulling.
By now, you're growing. Are you taking finance at this stage, or
No,
you never
we
needed
took,
to?
sometimes we took a small bank
Yeah,
loan.
but you're generally self-funding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it was, it
that's
was, it
fantastic.
was also, it was a very, very different time.
Yeah.
I mean, no one can succeed like this now. I mean,
Why do you think?
there was a lot of money around.
Mm,
There's no money around now.
yeah.
I mean, it was money was before 2008, money was flowing like
Mm,
champagne with the champagne. And even after, for a few years, it was, there was a lot of money around. I mean, this country is so poor compared to how it was.
how it was. Yeah.
And and kind of the taxes and the expenses, and
Yeah, things have changed, haven't
things have changed
they?
dramatically,
Mm.
dramatically.
And you can see that the knock-on effects it's had on
Yeah,
running businesses and
yeah,
just general
yeah,
standards of living.
yeah, yeah.
So you've now got to the point where you've decided you're not going to be CEO, you're not going to do consultancy, and you're going to go back into business.
Mm.
So how did that all start?
So my husband Gary is Taiwanese, and he's kind of the main cook in the house. So I always had kind of passion for an acquaintance, and I don't want to say passion, but deep acquaintance with how Chinese cuisine works. And then Chris. So we have two boys, Adam and Amos. They're almost 8 now, and Chris, who's now my business partner, he has a daughter who's 8. Uh, so Gary and him met in a toddlers play group down the.
Wow.
So we are neighbors, and then we were friends, and then one day he said, "Oh, I'm thinking about like basically replicating my noodle business that I had in Taiwan in
Okay.
London." And he was already importing the noodles, so the base noodles that we're using in Kung Fu Mama, and they are sun dried, so they're very, very high quality, um, and they're very special uh, because dry slowly. They slightly ferment,
Okay.
so it gives them a very special texture and flavor. So he was importing these noodles, and it's like, he was the only importer of these noodles into the UK, and so you start with the base material, which is fantastic, and then we thought, okay, how are we going to do that? We didn't want a proper restaurant. The proper
What was he doing with those at the time when he was importing them then?
selling them to Sainsbury and Co-op and places like
What,
that.
packaged in?
Yeah, packaged. It's like um, with kind of little sachets of sauce.
Okay. And that's successful then?
Yeah, it's very successful. Yeah. It's not a huge market, but it's very successful.
Mm.
So so we thought, okay, so we want to use the noodles. We want to do a grab and go place, and I didn't fancy doing a restaurant. It's like it's too much headache.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very congested. But the grab and go market, I always thought is congested, but not really delivering value
Okay. Yeah.
because it's basically like you just everyone is just, everyone is thinking about how essentially it boils down to giving just merely adequate food
Okay.
for a low price. And thought, okay, if people would, I'm sure people would be happy to pay another couple of pounds for something that is better than merely adequate
Yeah. And health. Yeah.
and healthy,
Healthy,
exactly.
yeah.
And especially warm food. I mean, you can get a lot of salads, and
Yeah.
we can have a long discussion whether
Yes.
they're healthy or not. I mean,
Yeah.
the jury is out on that. But even if let's assume they're healthy, it's not kind of home. It's not comforting. It's not home cooked. It's not.
People are almost aware that they're eating something healthy or think they're eating
They
something
think,
healthy.
yeah,
So it's
but
like a,
but it's not. Yeah, it's it's not proper food really.
yeah.
So I thought, okay, so we could do. There's a gap in the market, although it's a very congested market. There's still a gap here. And then we said, okay, so how we're going to use the noodles. The noodles are great. How we're going to use them? You can cook them in broth, which is the Asian way, but it's inappropriate for Western people because it's um, it's not appropriate for grab and go. I mean, people don't have time to sit and spend 15 minutes eating a soup.
Okay.
You can stir fry, but then if you stir fry to serve, you have to use really high temperature, and then you burn the oil, and then it's stinky and really unhealthy.
Mhm.
So then we developed a method of cooking the toppings of the noodle in an oven, which is really
It's just unique to you.
unique to us. Yeah, we're
Okay.
the only ones who do that because ovens are unheard of in Chinese cuisine.
Right.
Gary, my husband, is like, he only learned how to use the oven like a couple of years ago. I was like, open oven.
That's good. That's interesting.
So, so yeah, so it was a very long process. I mean, luckily we are neighbors because we probably did 150 tastings or something.
Wow.
It was almost like, every other day kind of for me.
Are you enjoying that, huh?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's something I was telling someone the other day. To be an entrepreneur, it's almost like godlike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's nothing, there's an idea, and then you bring it into physical form,
Yeah.
and it's like it's wait, what can be more creative than that? That
And
people come and
satisfying.
and
Yeah.
have food and eat and enjoy,
Yeah.
and it's all you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've created it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, it's excellent. And that is what you've done,
Uh, uh,
basically. Yeah. So you're moving it on now. You've come to the tastings. You've got to a point where you feel, yeah, we're happy with this.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
then,
and then we went to people, talked to them about investment. It was pretty easy actually, because I guess with my track record, it was
is it something new to you? 'Cause you said you didn't really take investment on your other ventures.
yeah, it was new. Well, I did the investment the very first round in
Yeah.
2002 with friends.
Mm.
But yeah, it was different, and I probably could have done it a little better. But it is what it is. We got the money we needed,
Yeah.
and well, I mean, all the investors are kind of friends or friends of friends, and they're all very really nice people, really
It's a
positive
happy
people.
investment.
Yeah,
they're enjoying what you're doing as well and
yeah, yeah,
investing.
yeah. So yeah, so it's a good vibe around
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah, good.
which is good. It's not like horrible people kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, luckily things are going in the right way, but
yeah,
God forbid if they had gone the wrong way. I don't. I mean, it's nice people. I think
yeah.
they all.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got your concept. You know now what you're going to be cooking, what you're doing. What was your next stage? What's next after that?
So the next thing is obviously looking for a site. Well, you kind of do it in parallel, really, because it takes so long.
Yeah. What made you? Were you looking for Covent Garden, or you just what an
We
opportunity?
wanted a place. What we didn't want to do is to start in the city, because in the city, really, I mean, you're basing your whole turnover on 6 hours a week, namely Monday to Thursday, 12:15 to 1:45.
Yeah.
Like the whole week, you need to trade out of 6 hours. It's
Yeah.
freaking insane.
Yeah. That's good. That people don't think of that.
Yeah,
It's really important.
it's really, it's like, I mean, people should know that
Yeah.
it's so
I don't
bloody
think
hard.
people do.
It's so bloody hard to run a business in this city. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It really is. And people can be kind of snooty about prices, but I mean, most people, even the ones who charge high prices, are barely making a
Struggling.
margin.
Yeah. They're struggling.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's hard for them as well
Yeah.
because yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just not money. There's no
Yeah.
money around. It's not good.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we didn't want that scenario. We wanted 7 days a week, like longer days.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, Canary Wharf is one option. Um, and it's funny because I mean, when I told Ottolenghi about that we are here, he said, "Well, you're crazy," because we did have a little foray in Ottolenghi. We did have a little foray into kind of the street food market on Garrick Street,
Okay.
which is not far from here.
No, it's not.
But it was kind of the corner of St. Martin's Lane. I mean, we made so many mistakes. So the biggest mistake is that it was really in Leicester Square. It was kind of just off St. Martin's Lane. So
Mhm.
it's just tourists, and tourists are just, they
It's a
don't,
different market.
they
Yeah.
want pizza, burger, pasta.
Yeah. Quick and go.
Um, but so it's funny, it's a difference of 800 meters. Actually, most of our customers don't come from Covent Garden; they come from Holborn. So
Yeah.
when I chat to people, they always say, "Oh, I'm from Holborn."
Because it's much more officey down
Much more
north.
office, yeah,
That's the difference. This end's more touristy, although
yeah.
you have got offices around.
Yeah.
So so now you've decided
So
on
you get an agent, you start to seeing properties, seeing properties, seeing properties. In the beginning, it's also, you kind of you make a few false positives because you don't know exactly what what are
yeah,
your criteria.
yeah.
And then you kind of, I mean, there was one place in Monmouth Street which we thought was amazing, but then it turned out it was too small, so we kind of
Had
um,
to rethink it. Yeah.
yeah. So then we found this place.
And you're happy it's got enough
Yeah, I
room.
mean, it's kind of the the landlords were kind of, well, the landlords agents were happy with the concept. I mean, landlords are, it's quite positive in a sense that they're not just after the money. They're kind of
They want to
the
know
big
what you're doing,
landlords. Yeah, the big landlords are kind of, they think about how the whole estate is kind of,
affected by what you're doing.
yeah. So
Well, your concept's very new.
yeah, so it was an easy yes for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, with the track record, I mean, I think it's important. I mean, it gives, and the kind of, I mean, Ottolenghi is a name that opens many doors.
Yeah. 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 You're right. So you've basically now you've decided on where you're going, your location.
Mhm.
You've created a whole food menu,
Yeah, very small menu. Yeah,
very small menu, and it's very health driven, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, it's not health driven; it's flavor driven.
Flavor.
It's flavor driven. Uh, but health is underpins it in the sense that we want to achieve the flavor without using stuff that we wouldn't eat ourselves,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
which is not hardly any sugar, not a lot of salt, no seed oils, So I mean, we hardly use any oils really, but if we use oil, it's extra virgin olive oil, no deep frying. So it's really, I mean, if my kids came here
You'd be
every
happy.
day and ate here every day, I would have absolutely no issue
No
with
problem. Tell us a little bit about what you brought in.
that. So that's a very typical Taiwanese drink. It's made of organic hibiscus flowers. So we infuse them in boiling water, and then
You create these yourself,
Chris did, yeah,
Christine.
yeah. But that's I mean, it's both of them, and then the other one is Assam milk tea. So it's also very popular drink. I mean, that,
So,
that's probably the least. I mean, the least creative. Uh,
what are you really happy with when it comes to people buying your food? What sort of what's the ones you feel really really enjoyable and the ones that people like most?
well, in terms of dishes,
Yeah,
I think it's
everything.
course, yeah, courses to horses, really.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. It's all. I mean, I love all the dishes. They all make
yeah,
me.
yeah. What's your future wise? Now you've opened and you're going, and it seems to be going well.
Mhm.
Have you got a plan? Have you made a business plan for where you want it to go? Are you happy with
Yeah, I
it?
mean, I mean, we'd like to expand it. I mean, we haven't. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's going really well
Yeah.
in the sense that demand is there. People love the food. People come back for the food. People
Mhm.
recommend it to their friends. Lunch is very busy. Uh, but we're not quite there yet because it's a very high quality product. So
Yeah.
there's very high investment going into it. So we need larger numbers, even larger numbers
To sustain
to
it and keep
sustain
it
it.
going.
Yeah, because I mean the kind of the amount of labor, mainly labor, that goes into it is
How many
very slow.
how many chefs have
We
you
have
got?
two people every any shift. We have one kitchen porter, two people at the back, in the kitchen cooking, and 4 or 5 people at the front.
So it's
It's,
heavy on
yeah.
staff, isn't it?
Yeah, because I know, for example, the chicken. I mean, we cook it in very small batches, and then we hand cut it for every basically to order.
Mm.
I mean, if you cooked it in much larger batches and we chopped it in the kitchen, you would and the same with the beef, and the same with the mushrooms. You'd probably need at least, I mean, one maybe two less people.
Yeah.
Uh, but then it's not the same quality. So yeah, it's still a challenge. I mean, we might need. I mean, we started with very very reasonable prices. We might need
Yeah.
to put the prices up a little bit. Um, but like I said, it's if you don't have demand, if people don't like the product, then you've got nothing to work
Yeah, no,
with.
that's fine. No.
I mean, if we lose small amount every month at the beginning, that's
Yeah.
perfectly okay.
But you're happy with the way it is at the moment.
Yeah, yeah,
You've gone in at a time where business is difficult.
exactly.
So
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, but it's kind of it's a roller coaster, right?
yeah,
I mean, one day you kind of tell yourself a positive story,
yeah,
and
yeah,
half an hour later you tell yourself a negative story. So the positive story is that yeah, it's super successful in terms of demand. The business environment is very difficult, and actually, if I look at the business plan that I sent to the investors, we are better than the business plan. The negative is, oh, but in Notting Hill, we were breaking even after three
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
But it's like I said, it's just not the same. It's not the same game now.
What do you like about business most?
About business,
What do you enjoy about having your own business?
um, I think it's the creative part. It's kind of um, especially feeding people.
Yeah.
There's something very,
And seeing people in there and they're happy, they like the
yeah. I mean,
food, they
there's
enjoy
nothing,
it.
there's nothing nicer than feeding people. So yeah, you open a place, people tell you, oh, the food is amazing. So
Because it's hard
what
work,
else?
isn't
What
it?
else can you do? What
Hard
what can you
work.
do?
People think it's easy. It's not easy, isn't it?
No.
It's hard.
it's
I see you there. You know, you can be there 7 days a week.
yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but the enjoyment is that you've got your own business. You
And
get
also
to
now
spend
there's
time.
yeah now there's this online thing, so you get like you have a you know unsuccessful 10 minutes,
Mhm.
and you got 2 1-star reviews, you're really fucked.
Yeah, and people don't think of that, do they?
Yeah, so I mean you
Are
can't
you
take
doing an
your eye
online
off.
service?
Sorry,
Are you doing an online service
like
now?
deliveries.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah, yeah.
probably start next week. Yeah.
So that's important. It's important, isn't it? How does that affect everything? Because you obviously work with a company that gives you the ratings like Trustpilot, etc., etc. How
No,
do you get
we
your
don't.
reviews? How do you
No,
get your reviews?
they usually the people just go on Google and put it.
How they just put your reviews on?
Yeah,
But at the moment, you've got nice,
yeah,
successful.
it's 4.7, which is considered
Yeah,
very very good.
yeah, yeah. Where do you see yourself then in the next year?
So hopefully we'll have one more branch, and yeah, maybe look into the third one. Uh,
Is this
kind
something
of
you
and
can?
also kind of consolidate the business model. So like I said, now we don't know whether it's the right price point. I mean, can we achieve more efficiencies in production? Can we do it quicker? Um, so it's kind of it's still becoming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you're in the early stages, really.
Yeah,
So you're still
it's very
developing it,
absolutely.
you know, and you're seeing your customer where they're coming from, what sort of communities they're coming from. It's basically, are you going? Is it mostly offices? That
Lunchtime, yes. Afternoon and evenings, it's more students and kind of the Asian community. People, I mean, we get more exposure in the Asia, kind of online exposure, social media exposure in the Asian community. So
so that's where a lot of your market's coming from.
yeah, and a lot of Taiwanese, they feel because Chris is kind of Taiwanese and very proud of it. So it
Yeah,
kind of he's got, I mean, he within like overnight almost got a very active social media account,
yeah,
and
that's
it is
good.
directed to the Taiwanese population in London.
Okay, so that's
So
good. So then we're hoping to get you back in at some point and tell us about all the new branches that you've got open. But I mean, considering with all your business experience, you've gone into this really, really with thinking about it. It's not a
yeah, I thought, yeah,
you put some a lot of thought into this, and I think people need to understand there's a lot of thought goes into these things.
yeah, a lot, and a lot of pressure and a lot of, and also kind of we got a couple of people on board as advisors who had um, slightly less um, smooth journeys than I
Okay,
had, because
yeah,
actually you obviously learn a lot more if your journey is not smooth.
yeah, you learn very, very quickly when you know.
So we so because Chris is very clever, but he didn't really have business here in London, so we needed a couple of people to bounce ideas from. So we
Yeah.
have kind of 2 people as advisors. So
So you advise that if people are starting a business, take some advice in
yeah, I mean,
from different
yeah,
people. The more advice, the better.
yeah, definitely.
What about accountancy? You have a special firm, or do you do that yourself?
No, we outsource it, but I mean, you need a very good accountant at the very beginning, to structure things properly and to structure the investment properly. And then you'd start needing an accountant to basically everything that has to do with investment, investors. I mean, accountants can be extremely useful if they're good.
Yeah. Have you
Uh,
got long relationships with accountants, being that you've been in business for quite a long time?
Actually, not, there's one guy that I'm working with and I really really like, but he's actually never been an Ottolenghi accountant. I kind of got to know him. In Ottolenghi, I wasn't. Apart from the very beginning, I wasn't. I mean, pretty quickly we had this CFO, and
Yeah,
she's kind of dealing with all these aspects. So, and then it's big offices. It's a different.
yeah,
Um, you need someone a bit more nimble.
yeah, yeah. No, but it's good though, but because I mean that you,
I'm dying to drink something. So can
yeah, go on, you take your drink. You can show everyone how you drink it, what you do.
I?
because I'll be having the other one after you've gone.
Okay, can I go?
Yeah.
Oh, they want, which one they want?
No, you take that one.
Okay.
No. That's good. I'll try this one. Is this something you drink on a regular basis? That's why you look so fit and healthy.
No, I mean, drink this. I mean, it's really healthy. I mean, it has got some sugar in it.
Tastes really nice.
Mm.
Really nice. And you've got your own labels. Will you have this?
It's all about branding, is the
Will you have this branded? Will you maybe you can have this in Sainsbury's?
That's far off.
That's far off.
Far off.
Thanks for coming in, because I really appreciate it, because obviously this podcast is trying to give people an understanding of business and how hard it is, but also we like people to understand that there is benefits happening.
I mean, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but I mean, I couldn't do any other job.
Yeah.
I really couldn't, because I mean, I mean, the main thing is, we talked about the creation, but you're also your own master. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't take not even instructions, recommendations from I'm stretching it, but I'm a very, I'm a Leo.
Yeah, you are. Do you find that is a lot of people in business are like that? You think that they
Yeah, I
feel
think the successful ones are.
Yeah, I've always found people though who are successful, if they work for someone, are good workers as well. I always feel they put a lot into their work as well.
I don't know, because it's kind of.
Did you work at one point? Was you working?
I was working 9 to 5 for about 4 months of my life.
You didn't like it. What was you doing?
So I finished the MBA, and I worked as a student. I mean, so I was employed as a student.
Yeah.
But that's I don't count that. It's kind of, I was a waiter.
Yeah.
That's what you do as a student, right?
Yeah.
And then I worked in a newspaper as a proofreader, also as a student. So it wasn't like my profession was.
Yeah.
It's very different. In Israel, it's very different. It's not like, I find this whole kind of student scene here that, the parents are kind of, you send off the kid to, I don't know, Leeds University, and basically what they do is partying and getting drunk.
Yeah.
And it's burning their parents' money over their student loan money. It's like, I find it ridiculous. I mean, my kids are not going to do that.
I was just going to say,
Well,
your children might be doing that.
No, if they want to pay for it, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I'm not paying for it.
So it is different in Israel to here.
Yeah, because you do your army service first.
Yeah.
So you're not so stupid by the time you're kind of.
Yes, national service. Yeah.
You're kind of, so you start your studies usually 22, 23, because you did your army, and then you kind of, people go traveling, so then
Yeah.
Getting smashed every night is not what's on top of their priorities. So yeah. Anyway, so
you recommend to people who leave university they should not party too much and get on with their
No, I mean, they can party. It's fine. No, I'm talking as a parent. I know I'm not against people partying. That's it's fine. You want to party, but why? I mean, as a parent, I don't want to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm all for partying. I just know I think what annoys me is this. The story is we're going to university to study.
Yeah.
And actually, it's just everyone is like pulling.
What do you think of the courses then that they go to study? Do you think they're relevant, or some are?
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I became very right wing recently.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well, that's good for you if you feel that's the right way to go.
So I feel that. I mean, I think it's really interesting. I think you sit in university, you sit in the cafeteria, and you chat to your friends about the courses that they're doing, and what the lecturers said and whatever, and you take on a persona. No, you take on a set of beliefs that will be with you for the rest of your life, without any critical assessment.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you're 20 years, 20, 21, 20, whatever, you're impressionable.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking the same thing. You want to be in, and it's all interesting and kind of intellectually stimulating and all that. And then by the time you finish the 3 years in university, you're baked. This is your opinions for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Unless, like, me, like in your mid-50s, you start thinking, why do I think this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people don't actually ask this question because it's quite threatening.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Um, so again, for the kids, I don't know if they want to go and study civil engineering, great.
Mm.
But if they want to study international relationship, I mean, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because you feel like you'll pay for things that you feel are relevant, but you don't.
But because it's also, I think it's counter. It's not it's not. It's. I mean, I think a lot of what people study in university now is counterproductive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you kind of, there's something in the environment that is very indoctrinating,
Hmm.
and I think people should make their own decisions rather than
Yeah.
be indoctrinated.
Yeah. I think that's, and like you said, you had to come to yours later.
Yeah.
So, do you feel you was indoctrinated in university, or where did you feel you got your thoughts from originally?
Yeah, it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel,
At the
it
time,
actually feels quite elating.
yeah.
Because you discover all these ideas about colonialism and
Yeah.
the dynamics of power and all that, and you think, oh my God, this is amazing.
Mm.
And it is amazing, and
Of course it is.
it's intellectually stimulating, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it's the truth.
Yeah. Well, that is the whole thing, isn't it? The truth.
Yeah,
What is the truth?
yeah, well, exactly. So exactly. So, I don't know what the truth is,
Yeah.
but then truth should be a matter of debate. And
Yeah.
the thing is, because in universities there's no debate now, and there's less and less debate. And then if you don't decide to debate with yourself, then you've taken something without really kind of examining it.
Yeah, absolutely. Examining it and seeing if it is true to you,
Yeah,
to your beliefs.
exactly.
So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be an interesting time, isn't it? It's going to be interesting, when the children go to university and see what university is like then.
Yeah, I know.
So it's really good. Well, that's good. Thanks for all this, because I really find it interesting. And we've really brushed on business, and we've also brushed on some other issues that I found really, really interesting. So that's really good. But all I can do is hope you a lot of success with what you're doing. I hope that you really come in and share more stuff with us. And thanks for this drink. This is fantastic, keeping me healthy. So no, that's great. Thanks for that, and thanks for coming in again. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.